Before we can know what our authority is, we have to know about who's the person that gave us this authority, right? You can't have authority unless it was mandated to you, unless it was given to you. So what God did, our authority comes from God first. All authority and all that we do only comes from one source. Even Christ's authority came from one source. It comes from God. Have you ever tried to understand God? And your mind just goes blank. You go back, well, who created God? Well, how did God get here? Well, God created this kind of thing. Well, who created God? You're thinking, your human reasoning just stops. You try to think, well, who's after God? Try it right now. Go ahead. Take a few minutes. I'll give you a few minutes. Tell me what you come up with. You come up with nothing. Therefore, people that don't believe in God gravitates to that. There's no ending to God. He can't end. That's why you can't come up with an end. You just think and think and think and think and you get nothing. You can go all the way from your great-great-grandfather to the insects, to the birds, to the whales, to the mountains, to the sea, to the to Jesus, to the angels, and then you get to God and you stop. And then you want to say, God, well, how did you exist? So, well, who created God? That's a question you ask yourself. You just don't want to tell me about it. Well, who? I'm a pastor that asked that same question. Who created God? Anybody got an answer? We want to figure him out, don't we? That's what makes him so powerful. That's what makes him so mighty. That's what makes him so mysterious. Because we can't. We can try to figure out every little thing in our life, and we're obsessed with figuring it out. What went wrong at work? What went wrong at home? What went wrong in my marriage? What went wrong in my relationship? What went wrong in this situation? What's wrong with my husband? I'm trying to figure it out. But when it comes to God, we can't. So we bash him, we blame him. If there's a God, why this? If there's a God, why this? God. And we never say nothing good that God does. All he does is bad stuff. Golly, haven't I just told you? He's the everlasting God, the creator of all. Do you like that weather you have? How would it feel if the sun didn't shine and the moon didn't shine? How would you feel if there was no water to drink? No. Oh, but we don't look at that. That's his job. Well, your job is to trust him and not question him. Your job is to obey him and not try to figure him out. You will never listen. He is the creator and the giver of all. That is all. In all. Now that we've established that we are given authority by somebody that's big. That's somebody that has the power to issue out authority on his command, on his behalf. We are given that authority by somebody beyond our understanding. So because we can't figure out God, we figure that his power and authority is really non-existent. He gives power to the weak. What is power? So now we're going to establish that. Power is the ability, the capacity. So God gives you the ability and the capacity. So God gives you the ability and the capacity and the authority and the authority and the might and the might and the strength. So you mean, in my weakness, God says, I give power to the weak. So in my weakness, where I'm liable to break and give away under pressure, and I'm easily damaged, and I lack power, God says that he's going to give me the ability to not break. He's going to give me the capacity to take on all my frustrations. He's going to give me the authority to stop the attacks that are coming against me. And he's going to give me the might to believe that I can, and I will, and I must. And he's going to give me the strength to endure every time I'm attacked. All that and get that one little 5 words. Words are powerful. Words are powerful. The words of the Bible are powerful. And the problem is, we don't read the words. But when you take something, just one little scripture, and you say, God, I want you to reveal the hidden truth behind this one scripture that Isaiah talks about, that David's talking about, that Jesus is talking about, that Paul is talking about. God says, then I'll show you the mysteries. Paul says in Ephesians chapter 1, verse 19, I also pray that you will understand. I also pray today 2 times already, that you will understand the incredible greatness of God's power. The word incredible is this: the unbelievable, the inconceivable, the extraordinary and breathtaking of God's power. This is the same power that he's going to give you in your weakness. It says this, it says, the same mighty power that raised Christ from the dead and seated him in a place of honor at God's right hand in the heavenly realms. Now he is far, listen to this, now he is far above any ruler or authority or power or leader or anything else, not only, hold on, wait for it, not only in this world, but in the world to come. That power that God has given you in your weakness had a price. It says this: God has put all things under the authority of Christ and has made him head over all things for the benefit of the church. Listen, listen. The devil is out to destroy you. Do you believe that? Yes. Do you honestly believe that? Well, then can't you believe that God gives you the antidote to fight off his weapons of destruction? Why is that harder to believe? But it's easy to believe that the devil's trying to destroy you, but it's hard to believe that there's nothing you can do about it, huh? All I'm here to tell you, he can't destroy you. He can't do anything to you. You allow him to do everything to you by not fighting him back. He's a bully. Jesus says this in John 10 and 18. He says, no one can take my life from me. I sacrificed it voluntarily. For I have the authority. For I have the authority to lay it down when I want to, and also take it up again. For this is what my Father commands. God commands it. God commands that you receive his power. God commands that you understand his word. God commands that demons know that the gates of hell won't prevail what God has commanded. God has already established your authority. He's just waiting for you to call it out. God has already established your authority through the death and resurrection of Jesus. He's just waiting for you to activate it. God has already established your authority. He's just waiting for you to walk in it. God has already established your authority. He's just waiting for you to believe it. God has already established your authority. He's just waiting for you to receive it. God has already done everything that he said he was going to do. He's already made everything subject to his children through Christ. He has all the ability and power that he can say, so it be, and it is. But we keep trying to figure him out. God says you will never figure me out because you didn't create me. Ain't that the truth? We spend our whole lifetime trying to figure out our children out. And we think because we birthed them that we created them. Lie. You know why we can't figure out our children? You know why you can't figure out your husband? You know why you can't figure out another human being? Because you didn't create nothing. The only thing you can figure out in this lifetime is what you create with your own hands. You know the where, the how, the whens, and the whos, and how it was conceived. So why do you think we can figure out God? Listen, Paul says this. He says, we are humans, and we do not wage war as humans do. We use God's mighty weapons, not worldly weapons, to knock down the strongholds of human reasoning and to destroy every false argument, every disbelief, every doubt, every lie.